Hello and welcome to This Is Portsmouth, a specifically made programme featuring community stories from our unique island city. I'm Josh.
And I'm Victoria, and we are your hosts to guide you through our final episode of the year. Let's take a look at what we have coming up for you on the show.
We have original music composition that was created by Live Show Today, and you are the first audience that gets to hear this special piece.
Pompey in the Community are an award-winning charity, and we've got news on one of their projects which will encourage and support younger generations who have sport as a focus.
We join King's Church in open conversation about food banks, learning about their work and how you might want to get involved and help tackle poverty.
And finally, we welcome our special guest, Anya Brown, in the studio to talk about the different programmes and events that run in Portsmouth to help those who need support most.
Well, that sounds like we've got an amazing episode ready to unleash to the public. Are you ready, Victoria?
Absolutely, Josh. Let's take a look at the original composition, Wistful Memories, written by Nathan Whitney. The composer Nathan Whitney is a student at the University of Portsmouth. We wish him all the best and thank you for sharing your work. Josh, Talk to me about local music in Portsmouth.
It's amazing here in this city because it's so diverse and there's so many different genres, and I feel like in the last 2 or 3 years it's just getting bigger and bigger.
I know we've seen some really big artists go from places like Icebreaker even to Victoria's main stages, little stages. It's incredible, isn't it?
It's definitely like, it's thriving at the moment, and the talent coming through is just unbelievable. But I feel like no matter what genre you like, there's something there for you.
Definitely.
I think that's key. Well, speaking of talent, did you know that Pompey in the community supports achievement in education, sporting participation and healthy living amongst all abilities and ages? Let's take a look at how they do this with their BTEC programme.
I think the main advantage that the students have with us is, first of all, we use the power of Portsmouth Football Club and the power of football to engage with the students. So it's not just all about education programme, we do have a competitive football programme that runs alongside it.
So youngsters join us from the age of 2 in our TOTS courses, and at the end of secondary school they really don't want to leave us, which is kind of how the BTEC programme began. So we started these courses to allow the students to carry on being part of Pompey and the community all the way through.
So the course that we run is the BTEC National Level 3 Extended Diploma in Sport. So with the programme, it's a 2-year programme. So in year 1, students will undertake 2 exams. So that's both in Unit 1 and Unit 2, and then the rest of their units, so there'll be 6 to 7 units of assignment-based work where you could have 2, maybe 3 assignments. So it just gives them that opportunity, so if they were to go to university, they've got like a variety of different units under their belt.
Pompey and the community is Portsmouth Football Club's charity. So we're the charitable arm, and we deliver using the brand to engage and enthuse the whole community.
My name's George Morris and I do a BTEC Level 3 Extended Diploma.
My name is Lou McCafferty. I'm doing a Level 3 Diploma in Sport, BTEC, right now, and I just wanted to come on the course to play football and learn a bit about sports science and all that in education.
Yeah, so the courses we have on offer, it starts at a Level 2 NCFB award in sports coaching and development. So that's aimed for students that haven't quite got their 5 GCSEs at grade 9 to 4. That then follows on to a BTEC Level 3 Extended Diploma in sports coaching and development.
The programme for us is, for one, to enjoy it. It gives us a good social insight, but we all want to come out of our years in this education and achieve as much as we can to help our future development.
It gives them like a blended learning style, so it's not just constantly we're in a classroom setting all the time. There are opportunities as well as that they travel this country as well, so for some of our students they get to go like further afield. It's just a fantastic opportunity.
So we use the power of football and the club's badge to engage with the students, to get them to understand that there needs to be a life outside of football. There's a huge emphasis on the education side, hence why we do the extended diploma.
So you get to travel different places, so I've been like Norwich, Ipswich, far places like that, to play all different teams at all different levels and really competitive football.
So when they leave us, they can go into like 2 different directions. They can choose to go to like universities further afield, or they can choose to stay with us on the programme where they can do like a Level 3 in personal training.
The kids feel they really belong to something, and I think in this city, where the club and the logo share that brand, it's a real sense of belonging, and the kids feel they've got a real identity about being part of Pompey and the community and Portsmouth Football Club itself.
I wanted to join the programme because when I was at school in Year 11, I enjoyed sports, probably my favourite subject, PE, and this course allows you to obviously play football and still learn about sport on the side. So it's a win-win for me, really.
Yeah, so one student in the past has come through our player development programme from the age under 9 through to under 16, studied with us for 3 years. He then got offered a scholarship in America, which he decided to turn down to try and pursue his career as a professional footballer. The lad did actually go on to play professional football.
The football and social side has helped me have loads of new friends coming onto this course, and it's just given more of an insight of what we can look forward to doing in the future.
If the course is something you or those around you may be interested in, their website is www.pompeyitc.co.uk, and there you can find out more.
The cost of living continues to hit communities really hard, and we'd just like to thank all our local charities and organisations who are putting in so much effort to help people in need. This week we are going to hear from King's Church about and how you can play a part.
The Food Bank is a system, it's a non-profit organisation where people that are in need can come and they get a 3-day food parcel of various different items just to tie them end.
It's really challenging working in this type of role because the scope of the work is so big. It's like it never ends. So we meet people like every day of the week who are struggling, who are going through difficult times.
It's not really a challenge, but sometimes it's quite frustrating that some of the people you come across are not particularly grateful for what you're doing, and they treat it more like a supermarket and they have a long list of things that they want instead of it being a food bank, which is, you know, basically you take what you get given. Very few people come under that category. Most people are really grateful and are, you know, in dire need.
I know it sounds weird, most people wouldn't be excited to end their job, but that's exactly what we want. We don't want people to need the food bank. We want to turn it more into like a community place to be. So instead of people coming to us when they're rock bottom and they have nothing else, we want them to come just for a tea and coffee. Like, we want literally to have no food bank here, which I know is a really weird concept.
I'm a volunteer at Food Bank, and I've been volunteering for Food Bank for about 5 or 6 years now. I'm a retired nurse. I was a matron for many years, and when I retired as a nurse, I wanted to give something back to the community. When you're a caring person, obviously you want to give something back. And the process of Trussell Trust is that we can make sure that people are getting the help and support that they need, rather than just giving free food. That people can come to us as much as 6 times in 6 months. But the whole point of Trussell Trust is to enable people to get some support, whether they're in debt or issues with housing, just general support to get them back on their feet.
The food comes in via our warehouse that's out back. We get food donations from pretty much everyone. All big businesses, we get them from schools, we get them from care homes. We have really good, strong relationships with Tesco's, Asda and Morrison's. They're like our main go-to people. And it comes through the warehouse. They organise it through dates, expiry dates, what's out of date, what's damaged, you know, pet foods, toiletries. They organise it all, put it through to our packing room, and they pack up the parcels, and then they get moved pre-packed into our redistribution room where they all go out.
So our dream is to see our food bank to not need to exist anymore, and that's why we do lots of work within the community to look at why are people needing to use food bank and why do people not have enough money to afford their essentials. So it sounds counterintuitive, but like, I would love to not have a job doing the same thing in 15 years' time. I would love that food bank didn't need to exist and that people didn't need this type of support.
The best food to donate to your local food bank is dry, tinned food or long-lasting food. Here on This Is Portsmouth, we wanted to play our part. All of the food you can see here is the crew's donation in the hope to make a difference together.
Once again, we thank everybody involved for helping support those being hit by the cost of living and for all the work they do. It's still shocking to hear that in 2022, 1 in 3 children were living in poverty. Oh yeah. If you want to get involved with the work they do, go to www.portsmouth.foodbank.org.uk to get more information.
We also want to give a massive thank you to King's Church for providing access This has been really important and amazing for us to witness firsthand the support they give.
It is now our pleasure to introduce our special guest, Anya Brown, into the studio to discuss more about helping our city where it's needed most.
Anya, thank you so much for coming in today. We want to find out a little bit more about you and why did you get involved in helping in the food bank?
So I got involved in the food bank through my placement year that I did. So I got the opportunity to take a year out just to do some work in the industry. And this was through the Love Your Neighbour programme that I did. And I actually then got to be involved with a food bank, a community meal that we provided as well to the homeless community and vulnerable community. And we got to work with women in the sex industry just as like an outreach team, just to provide additional support and just let them know that we were there to support them.
So you were involved in Love Your Neighbour, weren't you?
Yes.
Tell us more.
So this was through Harbour Church, and Love Your Neighbour is basically a bigger organisation that just aims to help people in different cities and help the vulnerable communities. So it was really good for me because I got to experience living in Portsmouth in just a little bit of a different light. I got so used to being here as like a student and kind of got caught up in student life. I didn't even realise like how much vulnerability was in Portsmouth, but also how many different organisations and different volunteer teams were there, like supporting these different communities. So like the community meal that we ran, that was on a Monday evening at All Saints Church at the top of Commercial Road. And so we just welcomed like 60 to 70 people in every Monday night, served them a hot meal, served them a pudding. And then also that was a really good time to signpost people to different teams that we also ran that supported different people, and then different like services around the city that they could reach out to and get support.
So if someone is struggling watching this, what's a great place for them to go to where they can be signposted for more help?
So I would say just do a little bit of a Google search as well about what's out there. Advise Portsmouth is a really good place that you can search up just to find out what different support is out there. All of the different like volunteer teams and organisations are really linked as well, and they know what's going on in the city. So even if you went to one place and got support, they'd definitely be able to signpost you to something else that's also providing support. So there's a really good like network of different teams around the city.
So as a city, what more could we be doing to help those in need?
I think just like volunteering more. Sadly, there's like quite a big vulnerable population in Portsmouth, but there's also loads of different organisations. So there's a real big sense of hope. So I think if you can go to Hive Portsmouth, that's a really good website that just gives a nice list of like different volunteer teams that you can apply to. You can just set up an application, it's really simple, and then they'll signpost you to different opportunities that are out there, and just chat to people who are already like volunteering, because there's so many different things you can get involved in.
That's some amazing advice there. For yourself, what made you want to get into this and kind of help people?
So I'm studying international development, and that looks a lot at just providing aid to those in need and how we can best support people. So I think that gave me like a bit of a passion for supporting the vulnerable community. And the moment that I joined the food bank team as well, just being involved in a team that was just giving back, it was really fulfilling, and I really enjoyed that. And it was such a fun team to be involved in as well. We kind of got our little like community together, which was great. And also you do see a lot of like regular faces come into the different like support teams. So it was nice to just get to know some of the people, and I built quite a good like relationship with regular people who came in as well. So that was like really nice.
Yeah. And what are the best ways someone can help?
So yeah, I would say just do a little bit of a Google search and just see what's out there. Definitely go check out Hive Portsmouth, because that just gives a really good rundown of everything that's going on in Portsmouth.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anya, for today, for being part of our show. What a way to end the series with such an important and moving subject. We look forward to playing our part.
That's right, we've come to the end of the show and the end of our limited series. Thank you so much for watching and for joining us this year.
It has been a pleasure meeting some of the amazing faces behind such inspiring communities and events, and we look forward to seeing you next year. I'm Josh.
I'm Victoria, and now it's time to donate to our nearest food bank. This is Portsmouth.
Let's take it.